say too much in it, but you know, Jammer, whatever, and producer, MC, and I got more things. Cannabis came into my life, just in my lifestyle. You know what I mean? I think where the background I come from a Rastafarian background. So growing up, my family's heavily into reggae. Like my uncles, my parents smoke cannabis, so I'd seen that naturally in my surroundings and culture. And when I was in school at 15, you know, people started smoking cigarettes and right at the shed, but the cigarette thing never really worked for me. I wasn't really feeling it, you get me? Then one day, one of my friends had a next-looking cigarette big up clear. So man smoked backstage with them behind the sheds at school. And I wasn't like, the first time I ever smoked, I didn't really like smoke, like, I didn't get it, you know what I mean? And then a little bit later after that, I started smoking, and it was kind of just like listening to music and smoking. That's how I came about, like my relationship. You know what I mean? Like my friend would get albums and we'd just sit down and listen to music and smoke. You know what I'm saying? So that's how like making music. Weed was always part of that relationship when it started. So I don't know a time when I was making music that I wasn't smoking. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, my relationship with like weed and making music now is like I've always done it. So it's like been in the process. But then there was a time that I wanted to be like, hold on, like, what if I don't smoke? What's my music gonna sound like? Do you know what I mean? And it's interesting because now I have times when I go in the studio and I don't smoke until I finish writing, or I mean I've got to a certain part of creation, because after a certain time of smoking, when you smoke for a long duration, I would say as a creative, the longer that you smoke for is almost the more normal smoking becomes to you, so it would have less of an impact on your creativity. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just always think it's about balance.
You had an interview a few years ago. It was a BBC or discussion of BBC Live Lounge, and you referred to there not being enough information out there for young cannabis users, especially. What type of information were you referring to?
Well, the information I'm referring to is basically, you know, when the early strains of cannabis was being distributed as like Thai commercial weed and just organic cannabis, not skunk, not the skunk plant. The level of THC and CBD was much more balanced. So, but now with the strains that have been distributed, the THC is sky high, like 8, 9, 10, and then CBD is like 1, 2, or 3%. 3, that's even high if you get 3% CBD now. So the information I'm talking about is like things like psychosis, weed psychosis, and things like that can be. You can go down that path if you don't know how to balance your weed and what weed you're smoking and what weed's good for you, physically and mentally. Do you know what I mean? And I know that some people just think weed is weed, but that's not the case. It's different types of weed, different strains, and they will do different things physically and mentally too. So I think it's important for people to know that it doesn't mean that you shouldn't smoke. It just means you should know what you're consuming when you're consuming it, and know the effects that will possibly have on you. So when you're having it, you know how to deal with it, or you know what it's about. So yeah, my main thing is having the balance, especially with the CBD. And I know CBD is shot up in the market now. They're selling loads of legal CBD products. CBD is good for everything. You know what I mean? So why is it that this thing's so great for the body and great for everything else, but you want to take it out? You want to put less in when it's to smoke, when you consume it by smoke. So for me, that's a trigger straight away. So I think like when I was talking to a few professionals, they were just saying what people tend to do that are educated is balance it out with CBD oil or CBD natural pills. So the extract of the CBD, if you take that when you're smoking, it will balance you out, and it will give you less of a, how can I say it? Because the THC affects you psychologically, right? So the CBD gives you the calmer balance, so you don't get so much of a psychedelic.
Less distorted.
And that's just like really, for me, that's really important information. Do you know what I mean? I started to research into it because I understood that the different weeds that I was smoking was making me feel in different ways, and I wanted to kind of understand what the difference was, and that's the reason why I started to research.
Do you race for regulation?
I think weed should be legal. If alcohol is legal, why it's not weed legal? I think alcohol does a lot more harm to people than cannabis. So logically, it makes total sense for it to be legalized. And if you look at Canada and you look at a lot of other states in America, they've already started to move towards that direction. I'm all for it. There's many ways that it can help sickness, it can help people in many different ways. So I'm all for the plan.
What does that mean for our dealers?
Oh well, what it means for dealers is you just need to get up your game and get more professional and start, working on your branding, not necessarily the plant straight away. I got a good friend, he's working on his branding already. He's got a brand named Calipo, and he's just building the brand. So when it comes to the time to be, legalized, you've got something there that's tangible and solid already that people recognize and relate and gel together with cannabis, and that's a trusted brand. And then, you move forward like that. You just got to kind of think into the future. It's a big topic, do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are in jail for breaking a law at the time that in a state now that it's legal. So me personally, I just think everybody should get their game right for when that happens, because when it comes to the system, there's not really no way. You can beat it, but you can't beat it, you know what I mean?
What's your favourite strain?
It's between two. I would say Calipo and Skittles, man. That's what I'm saying.
It's my favourite too.
So, if you want to say someone that I'm not affiliated to Skittles, but my guys in London, Calipo, you know what I'm saying? But Skittles, for me, the first time I had Skittles, I was like, this is like the best weed.
Do you have any advice for first-time smokers?
Just don't smoke. But on a serious note, for anyone who was thinking about smoking at some stage, seriously, I would say don't smoke until you have your life in the right place. You don't have too many stresses. Don't get into smoking because things are going wrong.
It can be a distraction sometimes.
You're going to be using it in the right way. What weed is for is to give you a spiritual upliftment, get closer with your spiritual side. When you're in a good place in life and you're achieving things and you want to just sit back and reflect and take something in, roll the script then, but just try and make sure that you got everything in order. Because what I tend to see with some people with cannabis, they sometimes can tend to use cannabis to fix issues that the cannabis isn't fix. Every time you're not smoking, the problem's going to come back. So that would be my advice.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
So good.
I hope you're going to try the Rizla and give a real review on it.
I'm going to roll one.
Yeah.